March 30th in history. In 1282, Sicily simmered under French occupation. King Charles of Anjou's harsh rule had pushed the island's people to their breaking point. As Vesper bells rang on Easter Monday, Palermo exploded in revolt. Sicilians turned on their French occupiers, and the uprising spread like wildfire across the island. The Sicilian Vespers ended French rule forever. Aragon claimed the island, reshaping Mediterranean power and inspiring resistance movements for centuries to come. In 1432, in the grand Ottoman capital of Edirne, a prince was born who would reshape the world. Mehmed II entered a court of ambition and empire. At just 21, Mehmed besieged Constantinople with massive cannons and a fleet of ships dragged overland. On May 29, 1453, the ancient walls finally fell. The fall of Constantinople ended the Byzantine Empire and launched Istanbul as a global crossroads. Mehmed's conquest reshaped trade, culture, and geopolitics for centuries. In 1842, in the rural town of Jefferson, Georgia, a young country doctor named Crawford Long prepared for a routine tumor removal, about to change medicine forever. Dr. Long held an ether-soaked towel to James Venable's face. The patient drifted into unconsciousness, and for the first time in history, a surgeon operated without screams of agony. This single act launched the era of painless surgery. Anesthesia transformed medicine from a practice of horror into one of healing, saving countless lives across centuries. In 1853, in the small Dutch village of Grootzundert, Vincent Willem van Gogh was born into a middle-class family with ties to art dealing. Van Gogh poured his tormented brilliance onto canvas, producing over 2,000 artworks in just a decade, painting with fierce, swirling intensity. Though he sold barely one painting in his lifetime, Van Gogh's bold colors and emotional depth revolutionized modern art and inspire millions to this day. In 1856, after 2 brutal years of war in Crimea, diplomats from 6 nations gathered in Paris to negotiate peace. On March 30th, the Treaty of Paris was signed, neutralizing the Black Sea and halting Russian expansion into Ottoman territory. The treaty reshaped European diplomacy, weakened Russian influence for decades, and preserved the Ottoman Empire's borders into the 20th century. In 1867, the United States and Russia negotiated a deal that would reshape North America. Secretary of State William Seward saw opportunity where others saw folly. On March 30th, Seward and Russian Minister Stokel signed the treaty, purchasing Alaska for just $7.2 million, roughly 2 cents per acre. Critics called it Seward's folly, but Alaska's gold, oil, and strategic position proved the purchase one of the greatest bargains in American history. In 1944, RAF Bomber Command prepared its largest night raid. Nearly 800 heavy bombers lined up on English airfields, bound for Nuremberg deep inside Germany. On March 30th, German night fighters intercepted the bomber stream. 95 aircraft were shot down, killing 545 airmen in a single catastrophic night. The Nuremberg raid became Bomber Command's costliest mission. It forced a complete rethinking of deep penetration night bombing tactics over the Reich. In 1972, tensions along Vietnam's demilitarized zone reached a breaking point as North Vietnamese forces secretly massed tanks and artillery for a bold conventional invasion. On March 30th, North Vietnam launched the Easter Offensive, sending thousands of troops and hundreds of tanks storming across the border into South Vietnam. The offensive was ultimately repelled with massive U.S. air power, but it exposed the fragility of Vietnamization and hastened the push toward the Paris Peace Accords. In 1981, President Ronald Reagan was just 69 days into his presidency, arriving at the Washington Hilton Hotel to address a labor conference. As Reagan exited, John Hinckley Jr. opened fire. A bullet ricocheted off the limousine and lodged within an inch of the president's heart. Reagan survived emergency surgery, famously joking with doctors. The shooting reshaped presidential security and led to the Brady Handgun Violence Prevention Act. In 2010, deep beneath the Swiss-French border, scientists at CERN prepared to push the boundaries of human knowledge with the world's largest machine. On March 30th, the Large Hadron Collider smashed protons together at 7 trillion electron volts, shattering every previous energy record in particle physics. This breakthrough opened the door to discovering the Higgs boson 2 years later, confirming how particles acquire mass and reshaping our understanding of the universe. In 2017, SpaceX prepared to attempt what no one had done before: relaunch an orbital rocket that had already flown to space and back. On March 30th, the flight-proven Falcon 9 roared back to life, delivering the SES-10 satellite to orbit. Then its booster landed safely on a drone ship at sea. This breakthrough proved rockets could fly again and again, slashing launch costs and opening a new era of affordable access to space.